Swayamsevak, an intellectual of great depth, a man of impeccable character and credentials. He represents the finest fusion of inherited values and personal excellence. He is the illustrious son of an illustrious father. I am sure many in this distinguished gathering have known and admired Sri Madhya Govind Vaidya, a highly revered, respected ideologue, an insightful editor, an influential thinker whose writings and public interventions shaped important national conversations over several decades. मेरा बड़ा मन था उनके दर्शन करने का, बस विधि की यही क्रूरता रही कि वो कर नहीं पाया। और उनकी चर्चा मैंने 2 बार डॉक्टर मनमोहन जी से भी की। इसीलिए मैं कहता हूं कि लेखक कौन है, बिकॉज दिमाग से आई हुई बात का अर्थ है, दिल से आई हुई बात का और भी ज्यादा अर्थ है, पर आत्मा से आई हुई बात का असर कुछ और ही ज्यादा है। ये पुस्तक क्या बताती है? इट एक्सपोजेस, lucidly explains the concepts of राष्ट्रधर्म, न्याय, affirming that a renewed Bharat grounded in these principles and presently on the rise as never before in recent past is indispensable for global peace and harmony. The book is inspirational. The book is motivational because it reveals true Hindu spirit, spiritually rooted, compassionate, inclusive, and committed to harmonious diversity and service to society, humanity, and our motherland, Bharat Mata. The book reveals that in Bharat there is a deep philosophical alignment between Sanatana outlook and universal values of harmony, respect, and spiritual inclusiveness. It affirms that individuals, the importance of the individuals uplift families. Families uplift society. Society strengthens the Rashtra. And the Rashtra elevates the world. ये हमारा सोच रहा है, ये इस पुस्तक में झलकता है। Anchored in dharma and nyaya, it envisions justice, dignity, and human development as foundations of global harmony. These are the real issues that are foundation for stability in the world. सबसे सुखद संयोग है हम और ये विश्व है। The book has arrived at the most opportune time. The centenary celebrations of RSS, the most stabilizing force in Bharat, home to 1/6 of humanity and for global welfare. Distinguished audience, amid unprecedented global churning in security, we find security getting threatened. Expansion becoming a state policy of some countries. Economic challenges and menacing climate change alongside, and you know it more than I do, demographic anxieties demographic variations. Demographic variations with a purpose. Demographic variation linked to grabbing of power. Information warfare. Tiwari ji had talked about narratives. भगवान करे कोई नैरेटिव के चक्कर में न फंस जाए। ये तो चक्कर में नहीं कोई फंस गया तो निकलना बड़ा मुश्किल है। मैं अपना उदाहरण नहीं दे रहा हूं। इसी के साथ चैलेंज देखिए, डिसरप्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी ऑन सोर्स, changing day by day in gravity. Artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain, machine learning. And then there is civilizational contestation. It urges India to draw on its deepest inheritance. ये पुस्तक के बारे में कह रहा हूँ। इन challenges के बीच में ये पुस्तक हमें एक सीख देती है। Faced with these grim challenges, creating a very difficult environment. There is reprieve, there is light, beacon of hope, North Star or let's say lighthouse. And that is, we must fall back on our deepest inheritance. राष्ट्र as cultural entity, लोगों को राष्ट्र का कंसेप्ट बहुत सीमित कर दिया। ये पुस्तक आपके सोच को बहुत एलिवेट कर देगी। राष्ट्र एज कल्चरल यूनिटी, धर्म एज मोरल ऑर्डर, न्याय एज जस्ट गवर्नेंस एंड ह्यूमन डिग्निटी एज नेशनल बेडरॉक, empowering a confident and rooted India to shape not our outcomes but global outcomes. The book persuades us to realize that Bharat, shaped by over 6,000 years of sustained civilizational wisdom, has the unique capacity to guide the world that presently, friends, is in turbulence. It reminds us that a nation rooted in spiritual depth, cultural continuity, and compassion can offer humanity a dharma and nyaya based on order, one that advances harmony, justice, and collective upliftment in an age of global conflict and uncertainty. Dr. Manmohan Vaid persuasively points out with great persuasion, with great humility, but with micro details, that the Bharatiya idea of nationhood is more integrative, organic, and continuous because it is firmed up, based, rooted in spirituality. With clarity and scholarly conviction, he explains in one of his articles why the spiritual view of life is known as the Hindu view across the world, and those who live in Bharat, irrespective of their caste, region, religion or language, subscribe naturally to this view of life. Friends, the book echoes the spirit of Swami Vivekananda, who reminded the world from Chicago on September 11, 1893, while addressing the Parliament of Religions. I quote, "I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. We believe not only in universal toleration, but we accept all religions as true," unquote. The release of this book, therefore, in this year particularly carries deep significance, marking a moment that will shape India's future trajectory and strengthen global harmony, stability and peace. ये पुस्तक हमें मैसेज क्या देती है? I'll come to this. हम और ये विश्व rightly envisions a strong, capable and just India, renewed in dignity, confidence and spiritual values, whose cultural endurance and civilizational wisdom can help sustain a stable and just world order. We all need to be cognizant that this great sustained civilizational journey of Bharat has given rise to timeless wisdom embodied in Vedas and in epic scriptures, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Gita. Get to the essence of these and you will find an enlightenment of very different nature. Across the centuries, our saints, our sages, our poets, our philosophers and writers have enriched further this legacy, continually strengthened the moral, intellectual and spiritual fabric of our society. आज ऐसा जमाना आ गया, morality, intellect and spirituality से कुछ लोग दूर हटते जा रहे हैं. पुस्तक पढ़ने के पश्चात मैसेज आ गया, समय सीमा है. कितना टाइम? 7:30. मैं फ्लाइट पकड़ने की चिंता से अपने कर्तव्य को नहीं छोड़ सकता.
क्या बात है.
And friends, my recent past is proof of it. Time for us all to reflect. और ये चिंता और चिंतन का विषय है. कितने आक्रमण हुए, दो तो गंभीर, इस्लामिक एंड ब्रिटिश कॉलोनियलिज्म. हम क्यों टिके रहे, क्यों जमे रहे? हमारे साथ जो सिविलाइजेशंस थी, नाम लेने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, वो कहां चली गई? हम आज भी हैं. अब इस स्पिरिचुअलिटी का आधार क्या है? इसकी रूट्स कहां हैं? जमीनी हकीकत क्या है? दिस स्पिरिचुअली एंकर्ड सिस्टम, सनातन, इटर्नल येट एवर रिन्यूइंग, reflects the unique capability of a civilization to reinvent self while preserving its fundamental essence. डॉक्टर साहब ने अपनी पुस्तक के एक लेख में हेराक्लिटस का रेफरेंस दिया है. हेराक्लिटस was a philosopher in pre-Socrates era, but one of his most often quoted reflection is, the only constant in life is change. हमारी civilization की तो strength नहीं है, but our change has never compromised with spirituality, with morality, with righteousness. हमें क्या सीख मिली है? और हमें सीख मिली है integrity of institutions is quintessential. It is non-negotiable. It is inalienable facet of society. It is vital for society, and that is what we have been taught all throughout. वर्तमान दुनिया के हालात क्या हैं? We have perilous, cliff-hanging situations. restive, they are in restlessness. We see all around turbulence and disturbance, uncertainty and unpredictability. And the only solution to that is we must fall back to our civilizational essence. Friends, it will do the nation a great deal of good by educating our children, imbibing in them and the youth about our great legacy. As global leaders in spirituality, cultural ethos, education, health, astrology and mathematics, पर हमारे बच्चों को ज्ञान होना चाहिए गहराई से। हमारे आइकॉनिक फिगर्स व्यास, पतंजलि, पाणिनि, चरक, सुश्रुत, बराहमी जी, आर्यभट्ट, भास्कर, आदिगुरु शंकराचार्य, माधवाचार्य और हमारी संस्थाएं, हमें सिर्फ वेद शब्द नहीं उपयोग करना चाहिए कि 4 वेद हैं, देखो, पढ़ो, समझो, तब पता लगेगा कि इनको न देखकर, इनको न पढ़कर, इनको न ग्रहण कर हमने क्या खोया। Dr. Shah made reference to the visit of Dr. Pranab Mukherjee, who adorned the office of President of this country, a great statesman of recent times, when he went to Nagpur on 7th June 2018. Look at the level of criticism, extremity of criticism, enormity of criticism, crossing all bounds, calling it blasphemous. And Pranab, by one sentence, gave quietus to this controversy. When he visited the birthplace of Dr. Keshav Baliram Hegdewar, he wrote, I quote, one sentence: "Today I came here to pay my respect and homage to a great son of Mother India," unquote. कितनी जबरदस्त बात कही. But what is more important is the address rendered on that day by Pranab and Pujnya Sir Sansalak ji traversed Indian civilizational history of thousands of years. There was commonality between the two. Therefore, जैसा कहा, नैरेटिव का शिकार बनाना चाहते हैं. इंडिविजुअल तो नैरेटिव के विरुद्ध लड़ नहीं सकता, और संस्था लड़ सकती है. दिस बुक is antidote to such kind of vicious misadventures. Not by replying to them, but by taking recourse to persuasion of logic, rationality, well grounded, so that there is natural realization that yes, हम भटक गए. पर कहते हैं पुरानी बात है और बड़ी मुश्किल है, जो सोया हुआ है उसको जगा सकते हैं, और जो जागकर सो रहा है उसको तो कुछ भी कर लो. बल प्रयोग एक अलग बात है. कुछ लोगों ने बड़ा हाहाकार कर दिया when there was CAA in the country. यूनाइटेड नेशंस में मुद्दा उठा. उस समय मैंने इस विषय पर चिंतन किया. आपने इसका उल्लेख किया, आपने अपने उद्बोधन में डॉक्टर साहब इसकी ओर से एक संकेत दिया है. हमारा पृष्ठभूमि क्या है? Our civilizational heritage reflects a long tradition of offering refuge to those who were persecuted as well. They were subjected to pain, trauma. But when they came to this country, Zoroastrians, Buddhists, Jews, or others, they found in India a safe sanctuary, a comfortable ecosystem, affirmative behavior of the people, absorbing them fully. And what was the challenge to see a untenable, irrational, trading untruth? But then we are living, friends, in tough times. No one knows more than I do. Am I right? We are in tough times. But then one has to hold one's own in the face of challenge, because it is my firm commitment that I shall ever be in the service of the nation. This is out of deep-rooted belief. But after reading the book, not once but twice, I find an endorsement of my view. Those who are in pursuit of service to the nation must continue to be on that trajectory, because there is no greater service or sacrifice than serving the motherland, and that we must continue to do and proceed further. Friends, I'll quote Swami Vivekananda ji once again, for two reasons. One, I was governor of the state of West Bengal for 3 years. So I had the good occasion to know about it, and I belong to a district, Jhunjhunu, where Swami Vivekananda ji had the occasion to get good support from Raja of Khetri. I quote, because reflection of Vivekananda ji captures our real spirit. I quote, if there is any land on this earth that can lay claim to be the land where humanity has attained its highest towards greatness, towards generosity, towards purity, towards calmness, above all, the land of introspection and of spirituality, it is India. Friends, we cannot in Bharat blindly follow what has been scripted by someone else. We can't suffer calibrations from outside. We don't calibrate people. I firmly believe iconic status is accorded on parameters which sometimes are baffling. ये बहुत बड़ा थिंकर है, ये विचारक है, ये सब इवेंट मैनेजमेंट और नैरेटिव का नतीजा है. We can't fall prey to this. We have to go to the root cause, root basis, the essence of it. And therefore, friends, हम और ये विश्व है, कई मायने में it is tonic for the mind, stimulating thought, strengthening conviction, and inviting readers to rediscover themselves. This book guides us to be torchbearers of change, and the change that is needed, and help us get into our real cultural groove. I commend to all sections of the society for its lasting good to go through this book, just one article. एक लेख पढ़ने के पश्चात आगे आप पढ़ोगे, मैं आश्वस्त हूं, क्योंकि मैंने खुद ये अनुभव किया है। तो मुझे यहाँ आकर बहुत अच्छा लगा, और मुझे ये और भी अच्छा लगा कि आज हमारा भारत बदल रहा है। आज हमारा भारत हमें हमारे अतीत के गौरव को याद दिलाता है। कोई भी क्षेत्र हो, इन एनी वॉक ऑफ लाइफ, India is on the rise. There were security challenges, there were challenges in economy, but Indian diplomacy reflected its spinal strength. It never got provoked. It held on its own. That's a big change. And present Bharat, therefore, offers hope for one and all, because our dreams are getting fructified, and what is possible, there is genuine effort to realize it on the ground. मैं सुरुचि प्रकाशन के राजीव तुलसी जी को बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। मेरा इनसे पुराना परिचय है कि मुझे ये सुअवसर दिया, और समय की वजह से पूरा गला खुल नहीं पाया। आजकल तो हिंदी के चलचित्र और सीरीज भी बार बार आती रहती हैं। आपके सामने फिर कभी आने का सुअवसर मिलेगा, बट आई हैव रेयरली एड्रेस्ड a gathering of such inspired, motivated, nationalistic minded people. I am addressing cream of the society. I address those for whom nationalism is much higher, and each one of you can guide me because you are more experienced and committed.
VK News, राष्ट्र के नाम।